Hi everyone, Krista with Georgia Soap Creations back again today, working on more of my winter and Christmas series soaps. So I decided today I would bring you along for the ride for this one. In this container, I have just finished blending my lye water with my hard oils and butters. The hard oils and butters, the luxury ones that I include are shea butter, and because it is the holiday soaps, I include cocoa butter in all of these, especially for the skin healing properties cocoa butter brings to your skin during the colder winter months. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding my liquid oils that I've blended in my kale and clay with. Get this all scraped out and in there. And just a note to anybody that may be new to soaping or even just considering venturing into becoming a soaper. When you pour your liquid oils into a container like this one, like say it calls for 5 ounces of sweet almond oil. Because you can never scrape every single drop of oil out of a container, I recommend that when you have it on your scale and you're measuring out your 5 ounces, to measure it to 5.05 or even 5.1 ounces, just to make sure that you get the proper amount of oil in your soap that your recipe calls for. Alright, set that container aside. Today what we're making is called Snowman Bliss soap. I have these cute little snowman embeds that will go on top. I have 3 different designs. This is one. This is the second one with a little hat. And then there's also this third design. And along with those will be these little blue ball embeds. The fragrance itself is called Snowman Balls. It's from Nature's Garden Candle Supplies, but I have renamed it to Snowman Bliss just because of the name. Alright, so time to come in with our stick blender and get mixing. Get the air bubbles out. If you hear me sniffing or coughing in the background, I do apologize. My one son came home sick, made my other son sick, and in turn passed it off to me. Alright, now I'm adding in my coconut milk. Most of the time I use powder because it reconstitutes back to its milk form in the soap batter. But for my special soaps, I like to use the straight milk because to me it seems like it adds an extra creaminess to the soap. Alright, got that all scraped in there, so we'll set that back off to the side and get this blended in. The batter of this soap is going to be predominantly white, and it is going to have a blue drop swirl in it. So I'm going to separate this off into 2 pouring containers. Then I will get my colors and my fragrances added in, and we'll get to making this soap. I'll set my stick blender aside. Bring in this small pitcher to start. I like using these containers with the pour spouts. It just helps to not make as big of a mess while I'm pouring out my soap. I will probably put more into that one, but I want to get this in here first, and then I will go from there. Alright, so let's get the rest into the blue. And as always, any extra batter that I do have after I pour my mold will go into little molds to become soap samples that will go out with my orders. Let's get this all scraped out. Container goes to the dirty pile. So let's set that one aside for now, and we're going to work on the white first. I have my titanium dioxide that I use to whiten my soap, pre-mixed into a squeeze bottle. I know lately I've been mixing it up in just what I need for each batch, but with all my winter soaps, I do use a lot of white. So when I do that, I mix it up into the squeeze bottle. That way I have it on hand. Alright, I'm going to add some more because I want this to be a very white base. Now I've already got the stick blender in here. I'm going to add my fragrance oil and blend it in. I know that it is a very yellow looking fragrance oil, but it has not ever discolored any of my batches of soap, so it will end up being the white soap that I want. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Bring my blue container in. Slide that one over to the side. And I'll bring in my blue colorant that I have pre-mixed up for this. Give it a quick stir so that it's all mixed well. I'll start with that amount, and I'll add more if needed. Go ahead and get the rest of this fragrance in here as well. Because of the yellowness, it will help me judge exactly how much more blue colorant I need. Get the rest of this scraped in, and if I need to, I will add some of the powder, but I don't think I'm going to need to. Alright, a little bit left in here. I want to get all of it out that I can. Alright, let's get this blended. see I got blue on the table. That's par for the course with me. So let's get this scraped off. Get that. Give it a quick rinse. Give this a quick stir to make sure no color's sticking to the sides and that it is fully blended. Bring the white over and do the same thing. Quick stir to make sure everything's fully incorporated. Alright, and slide everything to the side so that I can get my soap mold brought in now. Slide the blue over here. Let's get this cleaned up real quick, although I'll be doing it again. And we'll bring the mold in. I have lines on the mold drawn. I've actually got them on both sides, but the ones on the side closest to me are the lines that I will be following for my embed placement today. Get a nice layer of the white poured into the bottom to start. And then we'll start building my layers. For the blue, and we're just going to alternate these layers. Get that scraped down into the side. I wouldn't be me if I didn't get it all over the sides of the mold as well. Give it a quick tap to get out any air bubbles that may be in there. One more little layer of the blue, and then we'll finish off the top with white, and then get that decorated. Get the air bubbles out of there. Yeah. We'll come back in. Finish off the top. I am going to drizzle some of the blue on the top and swirl it, but the embeds are what makes this soap stand out. Excuse me one second. Sorry about that. My husband just come in the door and I wanted to let him know that I was recording a soap video. My Like I said, yes, you can see that I will have extra batter, but I will pour it off into a second loaf. If there's enough for a second loaf. If not, then it will just be samples. Alright, I'll lightly tap across the top. It levels it out. And also make sure that all the little corners are filled in. Alright. I can set that aside. Clean up the edges real quick. Now we're going to come back in and just drizzle some blue over the top, and then I'll swirl it with a chopstick. Now when I do put the ball embeds on top, the blues are not going to match. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Same as the white Snowman with the white soap batter itself. But I do it that way, so that way it gives different character to the soap. So I'm just going to come in and gently swirl this top. Come back down through in a different direction. Alright, and once again, we'll clean up this edge. And right now, the top of the batter is not thick enough to support my embeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to go ahead and clean up and give this a little bit of time to thicken up. And whenever it is thick enough to support the embeds going on top, I will bring you back and show you how I do that and finish off the soap. So I'll be back in just about 5 minutes or so. Okay, I'm back, and I've just tested it with one of the Snowmen, and it is supporting the weight of the Snowman now, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these placed into the soap. And I'm just going to randomly place them. You know, each Snowman, like I said, is different. Each bar of soap is going to have a different Snowman on it. I think that just adds to the appeal of it. So while I was waiting for this to be able to hold the weight of the embeds, I went ahead and cleaned up, and then I poured off the remaining soap batter. I had enough to make another loaf of soap. So I've got 2 loaves, a big one and a small one. But I did not have enough for samples. So what I may do is just cut up a few bars of the soap as samples. We'll just have to see. Set these aside. I'll put that on the other loaf of soap separately. I'm going to come in with the embeds, the ball embeds, and I'm going to place one on each side of the Snowman. with a fragrance name, even though I've renamed it the Snowman Bliss, with the name being Snowman Balls, I just had to do the blue balls with it. And I hope you can all appreciate the humor that I was going for with that. So let's get them all down this side first. Guys might not appreciate the humor in it, but I just thought it was funny and I just absolutely had to do it. Oops, well, that one I lost. He's on the floor. And then once I'm done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some glitter to this, because what is Christmas soap without some sparkle and shine to it? But truth be told, with me and my soap, what is my soap without the sparkle and shine? The only soaps that I do not add glitter to is my men's soap, and it's just because the men do not care for all the glitter on their soap. So for them, I don't add the glitter, even though I don't like making the soap without glitter. But I do it to respect what they like. Alright, we're going to come back in with my snowflake mica, or glitter. And add some of that down the soap and on the embeds, just to make them sparkle. Come back in between the embeds, in between the snowmen, to make sure that, make sure that they all get some glitter on it. And then I'm going to come back with my pearl glitter, just to add that extra dazzle. And then I've got another glitter that I'm going to try. I'm not sure if it's going to come out of these little spray bottles good enough, but we're going to give it a shot. It's called White Opal. It's more like a shredded particle glitter, as opposed to the tiny pieces, and it is coming out, so that's good. Alright, well, there you have it. I'll turn it this way so you can see the front of the Snowman. Snowman Bliss soap. It's going to sit in the mold and cure for 24 to 48 hours, depending on when I can get back down here and get it cut. And I will bring you back for the cutting. Thanks for watching. Hello, I am back today to cut our Snowman Bliss soap. This is what it looks like right now. And because of the placement of my embeds, I am going to cut this on my single arm cutter. So let's go ahead and get going. Some of these spars will be different sizes, just because I'm still not the best with placing my embeds into my soap. I am getting better. That's just an ongoing work in progress for me. I'm loving the way the swirls turned out in this one. Every time I pour a batch of soap, because of the drop swirls, you know, the swirls are always different. They are never the same, so no two batches of soap ever turn out the same. But that is the joy of making cold processed soap. I'm just lining these up so that I want to try not to cut any of my embeds, if at all possible. And I wipe my wire off of my cutter each pass so that I do not drag any soap down the next bar. Save on cleanup so I don't have to clean up whatever it may drag through it. And the multi-bar cutter that I have comes in really handy for cutting full loads of soap quickly, but this single bar cutter comes in handy, especially when you're doing embeds that may not be placed 100% accurately, which, like I said, for me is still a work in progress. Any of the soaps that are smaller in size will be sold for a discounted price. They will not go out at the same price as what the full weighted bars do. This is one of my all-time favorite Christmas scents to do. I really look forward to this time of year whenever I get to make this soap. And it's been a big seller for me since I've started making it. So that makes it even more worthwhile to do. I don't know if you can see the way that snowman is on top. We have that man. We have this little woman. And then we also have this little guy as well. I like to call them Mom, Dad, and Baby on top of my soaps. If by chance you would want to get all three so that you have Mom, Dad, and Baby soap, just let me know that when you order, and I'll make sure that you get one of each, provided I don't run out. Alright, last cut. And there we have it. Snowman Bliss soap, aka Snowman Balls fragrance oil from Nature's Garden. I will get this video attached to the cutting video, and then I will get that posted on YouTube. Thank you for watching.